Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Me down on the ground, but I really be jealous cause I'm the right in their mind. In their minds, screw up with me, boy. Don't go right in their minds. Come on, at me, boy. There's a fight in their minds.
It's your Philippines Football League Super Sunday as we come to you from the historic Rizal Memorial Stadium. We've got Loyola FC and United City FC squaring off. It's number 8 versus number 6, and these are big matches, as we know. Contrasting agendas as we take a look at our schedule right here. After this match, we do have the titanic matchup between Kaya FC Iloilo and Stallion Laguna, and afterwards, to wrap up the day, we have Davao Aguilas UMAC and Maharlika Taguig. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us. This is Clara Manzano bringing the commentary alongside Camille Rodriguez, and thank you very much for joining us. And as we say, of course, big matches here, but we do have that pecking order already, and what's there to look at?
A lot to play for in this game, especially during this matchup with 3 games lined up for us and the rest of the fans for PFL. But for this matchup, both teams are going to look to finish strong, with Loyola already securing that safety, finishing in the top 10, but looking to bounce back from a big loss last week. And we have UCFC looking to finish as high as 2nd place. So a lot to play for both these teams, Claro.
Loyola again returning as we look at the table. UCFC returning after missing out on the Copa also. And there you go, as we see in the standings, it's number 6 and number 8. 7 wins for United City FC, while Loyola FC trail. There's a 7-point difference as we see here. 5 wins on the other hand for Loyola. But yung maganda nga sa Loyola, as you said, Cam, they are safe inside the top 10. For UCFC also, but they weren't in that title race when we refer to their expectations, but we'll take a deeper dive as we carry on here, because although UCFC are out of title contention, there is still something up for grabs again. If they finish number 2 and Kaya FC emerge as the champions, UCFC could take that ACL or AFC Champions League 2 spot, because they do have a license. Tandaan nga natin. As we'll take a look at our 2 squads, let's zoom in nga, as we said earlier, Loyola FC. There's a bit of that up and down for them, we could say. But one constant was William the Winter Soldier, their leading scorer. And yun, it's pretty much mission accomplished already, because they secured the top 10 finish, right? But they want to finish strong, right? You don't want to leave these stones unturned.
Exactly, and we have Loyola being familiar in this PFL setup, PFL environment, so they know what it takes to win in a setup like this, and it has been successful for them, looking to return in a big way for PFL. They have been successful so far with 5 wins, but they were overpowered last week by one of the stronger teams, Taguig FC, where they lost 7-1. So a lot to learn, and hopefully they can reflect those lessons in this game.
And as we mentioned, William Winter, key players again are returning Loyola players, because they did get to reach again Loyola back in the day. And nandun sila Jorel Aristorenas and Charlie Beaton. And without hesitation, I refer to them as the Titos of Loyola. No problem there, right? So they're that guiding force, and they continue to ensure na nandun pa rin yung kultura from the era of the Young Husbands, the Hartmans, you name them. But we'll carry over to United City FC this time around. Again, finish strong. They are coming up that 3-0 win versus Minjola, and you could say they bounced back against Davao Aguilas UMAC, yung goalless draw na yun. But what's there?
UCFC as a team has had quite the season. They've had few, personnel changes, and at the same time, their squad also has, that internal competition that goes with these changes. And what's good is that they have a good mix of veterans in the likes of Sandra and Bugas, along with the young force na sinabi nga ni Coach Ramon, is what their strength is. And we see the likes of Asperas and Taninco really shining for UCFC. So a lot to look forward to for these young players, but also for UCFC as a team at the end of this league.
UCFC, their midfield is loaded with veterans again, but we saw Diego Aspiras will be vital in linking up with them to make sure that they compete at that optimum level. And another player also is Ricky Sendra. Just to add, he's coming off a hat-trick in the last game, the 3-0 win against Benjola. He got to score all of their goals, so they will try to surf that momentum. But other youngsters also, there's the likes of Ziggy Tanico, a force at fullback, as we will take it pitch side to Naj Miravalles to give us a report.
For both coaches Ramon and Roxy, what played a huge part in their good run this season was the players understanding their roles. Coach Ramon cited that before UCFC was given too much freedom, that they lacked structure. Kaya naman yun yung pinagtatrabahuhan talaga nila. Para sa Loyola naman, though they took a big hit last week after a blowout loss against Juan Taguig, sabi naman ni Coach Roxy, he saw the effort. It's just that they gave too much space to Juan Taguig. Kaya naman they really worked on their defense in the recent practices. Pero another challenge that they will be facing today is having to play without the services of their team captain. Kaya tingnan natin ano magiging kapalaran ng parehong team na to as I send it back to you guys.
We bring you the continuing coverage of your Philippines Football League Super Sunday action as we see our match officials. Si Meliton Pelayo ay ang referee, sila Ismael Pasion and KB Nanyola ay ang ating linesman, si Jesus Abogado ay ang fourth official, si Roberto Hernandez ay ang referee assessor, and si Mark Ian Baldo ay ang ating match commissioner. Your respective team captains, both veteran midfielders. We've got Jorel Aristorenas for Loyola and Ricky Sendra for United City FC. Both teams getting locked in. Loyola in their white, UCFC in their black. And I wanna ask you, Cam, it was raining really hard during the warm-ups. Tapos okay na yung weather bigla. So does that change things a bit? But let's go the starting lineup first. We do have Teddy Travis and Aristorenas playing central midfield. Charlie Beaton, expect him to be busy on the wing. And JV Kalukaran at left back, but he does move forward a lot. And naka 4-4-2 yung Loyola. Let's see how UCFC will be lining up, and we'll get your assessment as they are wrapping up their huddle. Let's see how Coach Ramon has got his squad geared up, and it's a 4-3-3. Look out for Newcomb. He is that dangerous man up front, and we do have that critical midfield trio: Sandra, Aspiras, Bugas. 4-4-2 for Loyola, 4-3-3 for UCFC. What do you have to say?
Right off the bat, we could tell that UCFC is going to overpower the attack, and they do have the personnel lined up for that in Limbo, Newcomb, and also Sandra up there. And, you know, it's going to be a battle of competition between these two teams, right? Competing means not just showing up and going the motions of the game, but really showing up and, you know, making a statement no matter what that may be for both teams.
So it's not just going through it, but parang yung purpose, no? As Ariel Newcomb kicked it off, 10 goals to his name. Will he make it 11 or more? While in contrast for Loyola, William Winters, their leading scorer with 6. Well, he pushed his tally to 7, but regardless, they'll take goals from anyone. UCFC are in their black, Loyola in their white. Na-excite ako kanina, I was asking about the challenge no, with the weather. It was raining really hard
Yeah.
nung warm-up, tapos bigla okay na. Does that change up the preparations heading into the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when it rains, the pitch tends to be a little bit more slippery, and that affects, you know, the skid of the ball or even your control and your touch. So thankfully for both Loyola and United City, it's a lot more sunny now. Parang 2 different days within the
Exactly.
span of, what, an hour?
As it's over to the left now, Saludo getting a start often off the bench for them. He's been able to give them that instant offense of sorts off the bench. Pero mag-iiba yung dynamic as a starter.
Yes, when you are a starter, you come in needing to, you know, adjust as the game pans out versus when you are, you know, a sub coming into the game as a game changer na panood mo na yung game. So alam mo na kung ano yung mga corrections. So the challenge for starters would be to execute the game plan right off the bat.
And there you go. As Limbo on the left. Back to Clarino. They're being patient here as expected. We know UCFC likes to hold the ball. Actually, same for Loyola. So that could potentially be a chess match or of sorts.
Yeah. You're right when you say that it is, like, patience is being shown by Loyola because from the whistle, nag-ano sila, it seems like their confrontation line, or meaning the time when they start to press, is after the half circle. So now that, you know, UCFC is within that confrontation line, they're starting to press a little bit more, which I think gives us an idea of what Coach Roxy wants from Loyola FC, which is to be patient and possibly catch UCFC off guard in the counterattack.
Speaking of Coach Roxy, Loyola actually do bring up a lot of their academy players, which is great to see, of course. Sandra is trying to give a little shake and bake. Going for Newcomb, but it came off of Kalukaran. You saw that go to the
Yes.
arm, right?
And he knew it. He knew it. But it was a good moment there for Sandra, being patient, trying to do that shake and bake move and outbalance his defenders. But what's more important, nakuha niya, or he picked out his teammate first in the likes of Newcomb, but at the end, he also found another teammate there. Unfortunately, handball nga lang.
Handball. At least hindi handball as the defender. That was penalty. We've seen that happen, of course, in the game. Disgrasya when that happens.
Yes, especially so early. Already just 3 minutes. So players need to focus up right from the start talaga.
As it's up for dispute now, or up for grabs. Kurt Dizon was showing a little of his ball control. Aspiras, same, knocked it back here. Nur Hidayat. Over to Clarino. And he'll bring it back. Nur Hidayat assessing his options, the Indonesian. It looks like he was signaling for Troy Limbo to make a run for it earlier. They'll try to break down this Loyola team setting up in the midfield.
Yeah, what's interesting is that they started with 4 defenders at the back, itong si UCFC, but we saw their left back, or we see their left back now, Taninko, tucked in. So bali parang 3 na lang yung defenders ni UCFC ngayon, which just means that there are more numbers on top, which Loyola has to be a little bit more aware of.
Right, as we did see, Taninko is a right back. Pero nasa gitna, di ba?
Yan yung mga sinasabi na inverted positions to sort of invoke confusion sa defense. Di ba? San ba to? Kala ko man ko to, pero bakit nasa gitna na to?
And they got this chance to go forward or a wave. Bugas over to Limbo. This is the Bisaya connection as they gave it to Aspiras.
Yeah, both Limbo and Bukas, both veterans of the league. So, familiar sila sa competition at level ng PFL.
As we saw, the flag was up. Offside daw si Troy Limbo. And he looked to carry on his effort in this season again. He has 2 assists and counting so far. And 1 goal to show.
Yeah, Limbo is one of the players which you would need to be a little bit more patient with. Kasi kung isang kagat lang or kakagat ka sa mga fake niya, may iwan ka. And that's just one of the skills that you'd need, no, pag winger ka talaga. A little bit more creative, more attacking mindset.
As Javi Coscolluela was called into action. He did not get the ball, but Ariel Nukam also was not able to reach it. And he will resume play. Counted pa rin as success, no? He didn't get the ball, right? But he got to stop Ariel Nukam. So Coscolluela, the lone goalkeeper for Loyola, as we've seen in the recent games. If we also recall, there was Anan early in the season, but the fans were definitely not happy with his performance. So naging Javi Coscolluela, matik. But no backup on the bench for him as of late.
Yeah, that is one of the things that Loyola needs to be a little bit more careful with, because they do have 2 more games in the season, and with only 1 goalkeeper in the roster, they really have to protect this lone man between the sticks.
As we saw Asare get dispossessed, it's on now for Troy Limbo, space to operate. But Asare got to recover. A little fake there, Sendra, but he was denied by Wade. Ziggy Taninko. Over to Aspiras, the young connection there. Nur Hidayat.
High press right now by Loyola FC. Almost successful, claro.
It was spearheaded by William Winter. Winter, the lone goal scorer when they lost 7-1 to 1 Taguig, yung Loyola. But that goal was in the early stages of the game. Dikit pa yung laban. Unfortunately, for Loyola, their defense just gave in and they were tormented by Stefan Schrock.
Yeah, and that's what we say, you know, when the difference between competing and beating. So maybe Loyola was competitive for a certain number of minutes, but for the rest of the 90, hindi masyado.
As Sendra couldn't connect there. No good for the businessman.
Yeah, Sandra also familiar, very familiar with the PFL landscape, having played with the likes of KFC before. So he comes in now for UCFC as one of the veterans and a leader with the armband.
Just to add other teams also. His first PFL stint was with Minjola.
Oh, wow.
And in the pandemic, he played for Stallion. I also recall Cebu. So well-traveled na to.
Well-traveled.
Si Ricky Sendra.
Familiar with all the different opponents and teammates, possibly, di ba?
Tapos businessman pa. I heard that from our colleagues, of course. Businessman, yung mga off-field ventures niya, of course. So yan na lang nickname daw niya on the field.
The businessman.
Exactly. And since with Ricky now, again, coming off a hat-trick last game, Sendra, their second leading goal scorer.
And when you see the likes of Sendra, like for example, right now he's just staying put. So you could see that he's trying to read the game as it comes, you know, because he does need to be more efficient with his moves. And yeah, well-timed that run.
So we have this right now, and Ingokam puts this one in. It may be a Sunday, but it's a business day for the businessman at UCFC. And there you go. We were talking about Ariel Ingokam. Look out for him because he's the leading scorer of UCFC. And he finds the back of the net in the 9th minute.
That was really good work by Sandra just before that play on his side. You could see him standing still on the left where he just did a back pass and he made that well-timed run on the flank. Just right here, we see it. And he just puts it on the platter for his teammate Nukam. But But unfortunate for Loyola FC na hindi nila ginard ang striker ng UCFC.
Unfortunately, Javi Coscolwela couldn't get it. Maybe half a step late, pero nandun si Wade. We saw, right? He wasn't able to reach it. I think he was potentially ball watching, but you make mistakes like that, UCFC,
You get punished.
there you go.
Yeah. And well placed cross in between the defender and the goalkeeper.
As here's Akot. Got this one in target, but Bandican with an error. How often do we say that? And as we say this, Bandican has been their first choice as of late. He has 5 clean sheets. Matt Silva has been nursing an injury as of late, but we saw Henry Bandican got locked in.
Yeah. I think just those 2 moments these past 10 minutes, parang magiging effective itong high press ni Loyola in certain moments. Kasi yung high press, you tend to catch teams off guard. And 2 moments earlier on, I think it was the Winter Soldier pressing the last man. They sort of had a half chance there. And even just in this past minute, si Winter Soldier, again, leading the front line, diba? Forcing that error from Bandican.
He's one of their own, as their fan group would say, Frente, because William Winter did go up through the academy ranks of Loyola FC. There's also a number of players, as we know. They're also on the bench, mga youngsters.
And it's really good to see young, footballers have that pathway. Na,
Ascendra again! Doubles their lead!
that was a great touch by Sandra. He was at one point completely turning his back from his defender, and then he just, in the last moment, opened up his body, took a touch, and then found the bottom right corner of Coscolwela's goal.
He started the game with an assist, carried on with a goal. I'm out of businessman references here because Ricky Sendra has been on a tear as of late. Credit to Ziggy Taninko setting it up there. Take us through the replay, Cam.
Yeah, that's Taninko now finding Sandra, who was in a pocket. And then he just opened up his body in the last minute. And at that point, nakomit na niya yung isang defender ng Loyola FC. And really, props even all the way till the end, where he was able to sort of curl that ball to the right side of the goal. Sandra, 10 minutes, 12 minutes into the game, he means business.
What did this guy have for breakfast or lunch? I have no idea, but we want to find out.
So I think immediately these first 12 minutes rather of this game, that left side of UCFC is a force to be reckoned with for Loyola FC. That means the right back and the right wingers of Loyola FC have to be tighter on their marks, because the goals these past 12 minutes happened both on their side.
Right before that goal, I was actually going to ask, bakit lagi nasa kaliwa yung UCFC? But you answered it right there. As it's with United now in their black uniforms again. Loyola in their white. Clarina over to Sendra. So update nga natin yung tally. Nuka with 11 goals this season. Sendra with 9. That's just with Troy Limbo on the left. His last stint again with Davao. Over to Sendra. Didn't get to secure. Saludo was there and tried to get it for Loyola, but no good. United's numbers all over the place. As it's over to Taninko. Taninko also a U19 Philippines international.
And it's great to see young talent like Taninko and Aspiras being here, playing in the top flight league of Philippine football, because this is really what Philippine footballers want, diba? Na may opportunity sila to play against the best and be with the best.
And to add, if you want to be the best, right, play against the best.
Exactly, just like that. And again, here we see on the left side of UCFC trying to find that space kay Closa and kay Beaton at the moment.
As we did see Menzi try to trigger things on the right. Nainggit ata yung right wing, no? ng UCFC. But here's Loyola on the counter. Winter Soldier has given them some magic moments. in this season.
Yeah, there was a moment there where I thought Winter would have that ball and take his defender on, but unfortunately, it was just him alone there on the corner. So had he had teammates there joining him, baka magkaroon pa sila ng chance in front of the goal.
As we saw possession earlier sa graphics natin, definitely favoring UCFC. Loyola, a little uncomfortable because we do know that they like to hold the ball. Yun nga, 27-73. As it's over to Henry Bandiken, the Cameroonian. Will he get clean sheet number 6? Yan ang tanong. Clarino. Bugas. That's some UAP connection back in the day.
Yeah, the touch was a little too wide for Bugas, but successful that he was able to recover the ball right now, looking for his teammate on the right. Pass a little too weak that left back of Loyola FC was Caloocaran was able to anticipate that. And Caloocaran, one of the players also familiar with the PFL landscape.
Right, Caloocaran, his recent stint with Stallion, and
I believe he was also with ADT, right? The Ascals
That's right.
development team.
yung malaki dito kay JV Caloocaran is he did play in the AFC Cup last year with Stallion. And he scored also from the left wing. He just brought that goal-scoring prowess here. He was scoring from that spot, which we don't often see, right? Pag nasa wing yung bola, we see a cross, right? I don't know what JV Caloocaran does and how he does it.
Yeah, and that's one of the tools that he has, you know, in his locker. But just right there, a shot from far out by Taninco. Again, unmarked, free shot on goal. We see him put the ball in the middle, take a shot from far out, and miss the goal just by a little bit.
But Javi Coscolwell appeared to get a touch to it. Kaya may corner kick ang United City FC. How do you size up the two teams here?
UCFC definitely has the physicality to be successful in corner attacks with the likes of, you know, Nukam, Sendra up there. Also, Aspiras in the mix, diba? Na he would be that player na makulit na you'd have to watch a little bit more closely.
As we take a look at our statistics, 100+ passes completed already for United. It hasn't been the case for Loyola. I think it tells the story that they're struggling here.
Yes, definitely the numbers tell the story so far with 15 minutes having gone in this match and really the possession being lopsided towards, you know, UCFC. This just tells the story that, you know, as of late, it is UCFC that is dominating. But I think there's still a lot of chance for Loyola FC. You know, 80 more minutes in the match. And a lot to still play for.
Yeah, the game is still young as Mauro Acot hit the deck. And this could potentially be the break for Loyola, but UCFC again with veterans. Let's see how they'll respond. Here's what went on.
Yeah, that was a tough body check by the veteran, the businessman. Just taking on you. Following your lead, Sendra of UCFC.
Right. As we saw there, it's Loyola's first 18 minutes in a nutshell. That ball there did not connect. Unforced error. You were saying earlier si Aspiras nangungulit dun sa corner kick. Is that your job when you play? When there's a corner kick and 11 aside?
Yes, most definitely. You know, when you're an attacker, you don't want to be just standing and making it easy for your defenders. You want to try and make them think. One moment you're in front of them, the other moment you're behind. And that kind of dynamic movement will pay off for your team.
Just to add sa corner kick kwentuhan natin, right? When I got to commentate with Olivia McDaniel last year in the Copa, siya yung goalkeeper. May bodyguard yung mga goalkeeper daw during
Yes.
the game. As well, they have this cross whipped in. We couldn't get that Aristorenas to Beaton connection, which we often see.
It was really encouraging for Loyola FC because the ball was spinning outwards. So that means if there was just one Loyola player who was able to connect at the back of that pass, it could have been a goal.
And that is their bread and butter. It's Aristorenas, Beaton, and Winter. As we have a throw in here. And just to wrap up that kwentuhan with corner kick, so Olivia McDaniel was saying yung bodyguard niya pag corner kick, si Hailey Long just to push out the opposing
Yes.
attackers.
Yes,
And-
usually your center backs are the ones who protect you the most.
And then I asked also if ever there's a scenario where Olivia gets sent off or you name it, si Hailey daw mag-goalkeeper. Last time I checked, right?
That would be interesting.
So I did that survey with the women's team. I want to find out with the men's. As Kalukaran was denied by Kurt Dizon. Dizon playing in his usual right wing, as we saw Akod get up. Dizon played full back though, not as usual in their previous game, but they did get the win again against Minjola. But
Yeah, really encouraging right now for Loyola FC where they've had 2 half chances in front of the goal, meaning onti na lang, di ba? Kung nandun sila at the last part of that cross or kung nag-connect yung last pass na yon, it would be a good goal or a goal opportunity for Loyola FC.
find the back of the net, my bonus done. You can be in the highlights sa ating social media accounts. But it's not all about the highlights, right? There's a lot that goes behind the scenes in setting up goals. As there was this ball that was clearly overhit. UCFC were unable to connect. That's why we have a throw-in from Closa. And mind you, Kurt Dizon, right, of UCFC. He used to play for Loyola back in the day. He was former teammates with Tito Jorel and Tito Charlie Beaton in Loyola Sparks. That was their team before, right? As Winter connects, Akot just couldn't get that one. Is that the tricky conditions?
It can be, or it could be just being overly excited at the last moment because you would need that composure at the end, which we see
And it was no good right here.
there by Bugas. Good attempt, good play. Very simple, just finding each other. Forward run by Nukam. Him setting up the same kind of pass that his teammate Sandra gave him earlier on, which is a forward pass which you run onto. And I don't think, that was a good chance still for UCFC.
Paulo Bugas did not connect there. I think he's used to assisting more than scoring because he has more assists than goals. 6 assists is so far.
Yeah.
1 goal for Bugas
Yeah,
in
that's
this
just-
tournament.
That just tells the story of who he is as a player. He is effective. He contributes to his team, and and I don't think that's the last time that he will have a goal scoring opportunity. Etong si Paulo Bugas.
As we saw Sandra hit the floor, he still appears to be rattled. Here was that collision. Both players going for the ball, as we know.
Seems like the ball hit the back of his head, no? Usually you get shaken pag natatamaan ka sa likod ng ulo.
You've been through that, right?
Oo.
Unfortunately.
Not just balls at the back of your head, you also hit the floor, you hit another person's head, and that's the risk you take when you play football because it is a contact sport.
Pati siko, di ba? That's
Lahat
gotta
na.
hurt. Everything. All of the above.
Oo.
All right. Contact sport naman ito, right? As we know. Ziggy. Nurhidayat. And there's a whistle here. It will go Loyola's way.
Coach Ramon not happy there with the call, questioning the 4th official.
Or was that a handball? We didn't get to see clearly. But nonetheless, a number of UCFC errors after they scored 2 goals. This could shift the momentum to Loyola, but let's see how they'll be able to use it. So we're expecting the service, and it's sent into the goalkeeper box. And it's a goal kick here, according to referee Meliton Pelayo. And there is Wade, who is down. It's been a tough day for him, conceding 2 early goals. Also a UCFC player appearing to be shaken up.
It seems to be Menzi on the ground right now, needing some treatment on his head. And usually when hits are on the top of the head, again, it seems like a collision between Wade and Menzi. Ulo.
So I think they're just running through the usual checks. I'm aware the concussion protocol is taken very seriously, of course. He's just getting some time to catch his breath. And here is Alasan Wade. They're just trying to get things sorted out also. Nagpa-water break na rin. About 25 minutes into this game already, we do have Loyola FC in white. United City are in black. UCFC lead 2-0 thanks to the goals of Ariel Ingukam and Ricky Senja. Senja assisted the goal of Ingukam. That's how we find ourselves right now. When you're catching the games on pfl.org.ph, Blast TV, Premier Football, and Premier Sports. Alongside Cam Rodriguez, this is Clara Manzano, your commentators for this match. And it is only our first game on this PFL Super Sunday. Tandaan nga natin, we do have that titanic clash later between Kaya FC Iloilo and Stallion Laguna. Davao Aguilas and Maharlika Taguig will also play each other to conclude the day. As we have this now with Bugas, UCFC all over the place.
Bugas making a good decision there, keeping the ball. He thought about, attacking on the right side, but he saw that the more important decision is to keep the ball and be safe.
Ingukam! There's that goal line save by the defense.
I think Ngukam in that last moment, kaya pa niyang i-control yun dahil walang nag-press sa kanya na defense. Kaya kung na-control lang niya yung ball na yun na maayos and he picks out a corner, that is a really good chance for UCFC. That could have been.
Pero halos naging regalo dun sa veteran striker. As Kurt Dizon will give us a corner. Most corners going to UCFC. As they got a touch there, but it was no good.
Yeah, definitely corners are to the advantage of UCFC because they have some set pieces that they seem to be wanting to execute. Just in that last moment, Sendra actually was very free at the back of all the defense.
As we will send it over to Naj Miravalles for a report.
Cam and Claro, kanina nga napag-usapan nyo yung effort and yung leadership na pinapakita ni Paolo Bugas. Sabi nga niya, he wants to be the guy who walks the talk, and now that their captain is not playing, Paolo is ready to step up in leading this team. Sabi nga ni Paolo, this is a 90-minute game. Hindi lang pwede na yung ibang nag-encourage sa ibang players, dapat tumulong ako. Sabi niya, hindi lang siya yung tao na pinapakita sa social media, yung strengths niya. Pero hanggang dito sa UCFC, he is genuine in being the leader that they need. As I send it back to you guys.
Leadership is very important because even if football is a team sport, you do rely on certain players. And you as a player would also want to be that leader for your team.
Right, with Naj mentioning that, wala yung captain nila, Matt Silva, on the bench. As we saw this unsuccessful foray, handball ulit.
It's a little too strong, the pass.
There you go. And just bouncing off the first report of Naj earlier in this game, or right before the game, si Sungmin Kim of Loyola, wala rin. They said he's being rested, right, due to recurring injuries. So both teams without their respective captains, but not a problem. But I love the real talk of Paolo Bugas because he has a following on social media, right? And he promotes the game also. As Kurt Dizon tries to get forward, got past about two players already. Gonna get past Wade. Beaton. Half cleared it. But it's over to Bugas. Aspiras. But just going back with that, Bugas saying, of course, it's not all about what he just posts. There's a lot that goes on in between, and he's giving his all for the team. Because sometimes people do think, it's only about, or they forget about what goes on, right? Away from the game, you name it.
Yeah, when you play football, you would want to promote, the good stuff, right? The wins, the good moments. But definitely, that's just the tip of the iceberg for everything else that goes on in the experience of, a football player, especially someone like Paolo Bugas, who is in, a team like UCFC in the top flight of football where, an AFC or an Asian slot is on the line as well.
Right, and with Paulo Bugas, of course, a great inspiration because he did rise up through the UAAP ranks, right? He did play with FEU, and he was also a champion in the collegiate or university level, as we do see Coach Ramon making some adjustments here. Naging unofficial cooling break na rin ito because we do see Wade receiving treatment off camera. Same for Coach Roxy and company. But Wade is hurt. It's been a bad day, but you still don't want to lose your starting center back.
Yeah, center backs in a team are your unofficial leaders because, you know, they're the ones who really see the whole pitch. At sila yung nasa gitna usually ng action, whether that be, you know, defending the opponent's attack or starting your own.
And just a time check, we are in the 30th minute already, and we'd like to remind you that Star Polaris is the official match ball of the Philippines Football League. As that dispute there for the ball goes UCFC's way.
And just a quick check on the statistics right now. UCFC has 7 shots on goal with 3 of them on target, while Loyola has 2 shots on goal and 1 of them on target. So just this alone is encouraging. But
Bugas.
we see Bugas trying to get a goal for himself, and ito yung sinasabi ko, he is gonna have many opportunities for this game.
You did say earlier as there was that long ball over the top mula kay Menzi.
Clearly offside. So pag sinasabi nating offside, it means that you are receiving the ball behind the last man of your opponent's backline. At hindi pwede yun sa football.
You saw Coscolwella and his defenders naka-synchronize swimming dun eh. Trying to desperately stop Paulo Bugas, such a deadly player.
Yeah.
His brother Cholo does play in the Cambodian League, a national team player, right? But we've seen Cholo Bugas a number of times catching the Philippines Football League action from time to time. It's great, of course, that he wouldn't forget his roots because he did play for UCFC also, just to name a few.
Yes, also a player who represents the country, itong si Cholo Bugas.
As there was that shot of Troy Limbo that got denied, and right after, he just blocked the clearance of Wade. You were talking about it earlier, not just going through the reps, but showing that purpose.
Yeah.
And it seems like UCFC are showing it right here.
Yeah, just the intent of Limbo taking on his defender, you know, cutting in and having that shot on goal. He wants to create a difference for his team. Ayaw lang nila magsettle sa dalawang goal. They want to keep going. They want to keep pushing their team for maximum points and maximum goals these last 3 games.
We saw in Ngukam dispossess Closa earlier. That's why it's build up again for United City FC. Kalukaran poked that one away. 32 minutes and counting already in this game so far. Just another reset. 2-0 po ang score dito. UCFC leads Loyola. Ariel Ngukam found the opener again in the 9th minute as Ricky Sendra made it 2-0 2 minutes later. And Cam, are you expecting any changes here or adjustments from the 2 squads?
I think for Loyola FC, a change that they would need to do really is in their tactics, the technical aspect of their game, where they would need to connect their passes more. Because as we've seen before, or as we see now, their passes completed is only 45 to, you know, UCFC's 149. So that just tells a story that they may need to connect more. And in the game of football, you don't have to be the team with a lot of passes completed. You just need to be the team that is effective and efficient in your passes, because, you know, 3 successful passes can result to a goal, and at the end of the day, that's what matters for football.
It's about making it count, right? As it's with Travis now. He wanted to connect with Saludo on the other side, but Menzi got it again. Bandiken under some pressure from William Winter. Nuridayat.
Yeah, Loyola looking to do that high press, but UCFC successful in playing out of that press.
But here with UCFC, do you see them lacking somewhere despite of them leading 2-0?
No, I don't think so. I think they should be pretty happy with their first, 30 minutes of their game. If anything, the instruction would be to continue being patient, na hindi sila ma-frustrate dahil lang hindi pumapasok yung mga attempts nila. So I think it would be more of a mental reminder for them to continue making that momentum, to be patient, and to stay composed, especially in front of the goal.
We saw a miscue there from Loyola. That's why UCFC eventually won this corner. Beaton's pass wasn't able to connect with a teammate. Naging regalo rito. Bugas will give us another corner. It's an in-swinger. Let's see how this will work out for both teams. They go for the back post. Overplayed too, actually. Ricky Sendra not connecting there.
Yeah, I think Bugas was looking for Sender at the far post for that corner kick, but just overhit from the veteran, itong si Bugas.
Even though they did not get to connect, nag-thumbs up si Ricky Sendra kay Bugas, right? Could you explain that, right? Especially for the fans who are new to the game. Bakit okay? Di na nga naka-connect, diba? They didn't connect. Why is there the thumbs up?
I think it's just to tell each other that, you know, the idea was there. Good try. Let's try again. Parang yun yung non-verbal communication na sinabi nitong dalawang players. Mag-teammates na si Sendra at si Bugas.
So expect them to do it better the next time around because they got to learn, right? From that attempt that did not go so well.
Yeah, and for me, those are the kinds of gestures that I'd like to see as a fellow football player. Kung ako man yung naka-overhit ng bola na yon, it's encouraging for me to see, you know, my teammates say, sige lang, go lang. I see what you tried to do there, but let's try again.
Moral support, of course, from your teammates as this will be resumed in the further end. And we just want to run through it again. Commissioner Coco Torre did confirm that we have 5 licensed clubs who can compete in the AFC competitions. We have Kaya FC Iloilo, Dynamic Herb Cebu, Stallion Laguna, United City, and 1 Taguig. So again, to be able to compete in the AFC competitions, and in our case, sa PFL, it's the AFC Champions League 2. You need to have a license, right? So the highest ranked team with a license will get that right to compete. So 2 slots up for grabs. Kaya FC, by virtue of winning the last Copa, did get the first ticket. So, ngayong PFL, who will nab that second one? Pero people might be asking, paano kung magcha-champion yung Kaya FC? Number 2 will be getting that slot. And as of now, it's Dynamic Herb Cebu FC. Trailing them is Stallion right behind. So that's why every point, every goal counts.
Exactly, and it's been a really eventful league with, you know, all 15 teams having to play each other once. So that means every team has already played more or less 12 games, right? 12 games with 2 more these next 2 weeks. And it really is just so important na every game counts, whether that be a stronger opponent or a weaker opponent. Talagang you need to perform till the very end.
As Aristorenas gave that long ball, UCFC's teamwork getting the job done. Bugas over to Sendra. He loved that crisp passing. Teddy Travis couldn't get the stop. It's Troy Limbo on the left now.
Wow.
He crosses it in. Sendra!
There we go!
Another goal! 3-0. Ricky Sendra now with 5 goals in 2 games.
A lot to be happy about for Ricky Sendra and UCFC. You could see how happy he is and what it means for this team. Already 3-0 on the 38th minute of this match. Sendra really good, showing up at the last moment for his team, showing up big and having fun with it.
UCFC's fans loving it. And they've been very vocal here. Troy Limbo doing what he does best on the wing. Business day nga, diba? Even if it's a Sunday. Talk about the technique here.
Yeah, that was a lot of props to, you know, Limbo there, picking his teammate out. Sinakto niya yung cross na yon para sa header nitong si Ricky Sendra. And it's not easy to do that when your teammate is, running. Kailangan maisakto yung delivery mo na hindi dapat sa likod niya yung pag-deliver mo. Dapat a little bit in front of them so they can run onto it and have a good header towards the goal. And that's exactly what Troy Limbo did for his teammate Ricky Sendra.
As here's Noridayat, there's William Winter. They'll need that Winter Soldier action again from him. And when you were talking about that, the technique there, the play, pinapractice nila yan every day, right?
Yeah. It's something that you as a player would need to get better as because, expected ka na pag winger ka, kailangan mo mag-cross. So meaning nun, pagdating mo sa training, marunong ka mag-cross and at the same time, you develop the certain level of, relationship with your team na kilala mo kung anong klaseng runs niya, 'di ba? Pag medyo mas mabilis yung teammate mo, kailangan mas sa harap nila yung bola na ibibigay mo. Pero pag medyo sakto lang sila, dapat sakto lang din yung pasa mo.
And for like the grassroots players who are watching, yes, nanonood sila ng football, they're watching the pros here. But now they have to practice it also, right? They can't say, "Uy, okay na ako, nanood ako ng PFL. Magaling na player na ako," di ba? They have to show up in practice, go to the field, right?
Yes, most definitely about showing up and
As the flag
doing
stays
good.
down.
I had to catch my breath there. Sabi ko,
Sorry.
is a goal about to happen?
Exactly.
Paolo Bugas with his 4th or 5th chance on top of the goal, and he knew that he had a really good opportunity there. And that's just going back to our, our conversation about practicing it. Even in that last moment, kay Bugas, practicing the timing of the goal, receiving while the ball is in the air. These are, responsibilities that's demanded of you, especially if you're a professional football player and you do this for a living, diba? It's part of being a better athlete and wanting to be a better athlete for yourself, but also for your team.
As Kurt Dizon gives us an out swinger. Nobody there to meet it for both sides. Bugas trying to connect Clarino, but the flag is up here. It did not go their way, but UCFC are continuing to keep up the attack.
Yeah, UCFC definitely had the momentum the first 10 minutes of the game where they scored 2 goals. But somewhere along the 15th to 25th minute, Loyola had half chances where they were in the half of UCFC. But, UCFC has regained their footing and has now been, more attacking. The momentum has shifted to them.
As it's with the speedy Saludo. He gives a cross. It's over to the other side. Taninko versus Beaton. Troy Limbo also helping out at the back. You love the confidence there from Ziggy. As it was picked up from Masare. Off of Aspiras. Aristorenas taking it from distance. Well, we saw that was over the bar already. Bandeken saw that he did not have to leap for that, but Jorel Aristorenas, with the captain's duties, of course, or being an outright veteran in the team, trying to lift them up from this difficult situation.
I think that intent to score is good to see, especially from the captain, itong si Aristorenas. But, as we head towards the last 3-5 minutes of this game, I feel like Loyola would need a little bit of composure to be able to be effective in the final moments. Because we just saw, meron nga silang attack, but the numbers were needed. They also had a shot on goal, but again, it was overhit. So they can be successful when they're able to do, the small things right.
As Closa got this from Beaton. And it will go UCFC's way. Great hustle there from the youngsters. Closa has been having a tough day. He's often that hard-nosed fullback for them, but we did see UCFC make life difficult. Kaya naka 2 goals early on and they made it 3. As it's with Winter. Chances have been very limited for him. Beaton. No Kim again here for Loyola, their target man. And he'd play with Winter behind as they tried to catch Coscolwelo off guard as Travis is down at the half line. And he is in pain.
Yeah, I think a bit unfortunate there for Travis, who was overpowered in that final moment. He had two UCFC players on him. Had his teammates provided him with more support, possibly he could have been out of that situation. But just unfortunate here.
Thankfully, there's no way for the opponents to touch his vocal cords. He's also a singer, actually. Multi-talented, si Teddy Travis.
How did you know that, Laro?
I'm his friend on Facebook.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course, it's a very small community. We get to know each other.
Yeah,
Travis, very passionate of his work and would share it.
Well, that's the beauty of football, here in the country. It is a community, like what you said. Hopefully, it's starting small right now, but hopefully it becomes bigger and bigger, especially when we have the likes of, a league like Philippine football.
And there you go, 2 minutes of additional time as Jesus Abogado, our fourth official, confirmed. The UCFC, or both teams, I'm sure, would like to sneak in a goal. This one was loose. Troy Limbo picked it up. He's trying to take on Colosa. Still Limbo. But there was way to get the stop. And I want to ask you, when you hear the announcer mention additional time, what enters your head as a player? Uy, makaka-relax na ba ng konti or konti na lang?
Depende. Are we losing? Are we winning?
Let's say in this scenario, can we do both? Sorry, you got to work double time. You're in the panel here with us.
No worries. I'm enjoying the conversation. Definitely, it is. If I'm winning, it's all about game management. So it means if we're winning by one, by a lot, we just need to manage it and continue to, do the right things correctly. Meaning passing it to your teammate, being patient. Pero if we are on the last, if I'm on the back foot and we are losing, then definitely that's a go signal to just, maybe risk a little bit more. I'm an attacker, so maybe, take more chances up on top. So with football, it really has to do with game management. And by game management, it means what do we need to do in this moment of the game?
Also very detailed of you to ask, are you winning or losing in this scenario? Both na lang para madali.
Oo nga. Iba talaga. But definitely it's a sign to either tidy it up or to risk a bit more.
That's with Limbo again. UCFC clicking on all cylinders. Kurt Dizon, the edge. It came off a Loyola defender. Kurt Dizon actually scored the first goal of the Philippines Football League in the inaugural season while he was playing for Loyola. As we have the halftime whistle from referee Militon Pelayo. 45 minutes done and dusted. UCFC with one hand on the W right here. Ariel Ingukam again gave us the opener, courtesy of that Ricky Sendra assist, while Ricky Sendra scored a goal of his own afterwards, and he made it 3-0, in fact. And what do you have to say so far about this game, Cam?
UCFC looks comfortable in terms of holding the ball, executing their attacks, especially on their left flank. They also look pretty confident. When you have the likes of Sandra showing up and being effective in front of the goal, it becomes encouraging for the team to continue to push on. And we see here now Loyola having, really good opportunities in the middle of the match in the 20th minute where they did have 3 half chances. Maybe that's something they need to work on in the halftime where they would need to capitalize more on the opportunities they have. But I really like what I see here. The past 45 minutes, it is a good game and good football being played.
And there you go. We'll be back after the break for your statistics and analysis.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelme, leave your mark.
We bring you the continuing coverage of Philippines Football League action between Loyola FC and United City FC. And as we speak, it's been the UCFC show as of late. Ariel Ingukam and Ricky Sendra, the providers in this one. As we see right here, United started strong and pretty much no looking back in this game. We saw the opener right here. Ariel Ingukam punishing the Loyola defense. And what do the highlights tell us right here, Cam?
What the highlights tell us is that UCFC has been effective when they're in front of the goal, and they really have been doing well in terms of connecting passes. And just right here, we could see Taninko finding Sandra, who was in a pocket. And Sandra, very technical there, being able to open up his body and pick out the left side corner of Coscolwela. And that's something he should be happy about. And here we see again an opportunity, possibly a chance for Ngukam to be more patient in front of the goal. And Loyola trying to respond. They have had half chances, meaning meron silang mga times na possibly makagol, pero it's either, they need to be better in the last moment, be it a final pass, a final, goal. And that is just what we see UCFC has done right this past 45 minutes.
And that was goal number 3 here for UCFC. But Sandra, personally, picked up his second goal, but we see that Jorel Aristorenas tried to just uplift his team here in what has been a difficult Sunday afternoon as teams are taking it back to the pitch. And here's the statistics. And what do the numbers tell us right here, Cam?
The numbers tell us that UCFC has been dominant in front of the goal, where they have shot 11 attempts in front, and 6 of them, 50%, being on target. And Loyola as well has had their fair share of shots, with 3 in front of the goal but only 1 on target. So it is something for Loyola to work on, that they capitalize on the shots on target they have, and at the same time for UCFC to continue, being dominant, being a positive force for the team in the next 45 minutes.
There you go. We have our outlook for this upcoming second half. And we see it smiles for UCFC, and they are a little loose. And we'd like to remind you that we are powered by 8 Cuts Burgers, our official catering partner right here in the Philippines Football League. And while you're at it, as our Philippine football friends and fans, do look for it. The onion rings of 8 Cuts Burgers. Do get them right here. You can order right here, just outside the grandstand. And if you're watching the game from home, order online. And it is 150 pesos to join us right here at the grandstand at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. And it is free to catch the action over at the bleachers. And we saw some fans earlier. Sinusulit nila yan, di ba? And we will take it pitch side to Naj Miravalles for a report.
According to Jorel Aristorenas, in order to bounce back today, hindi na pwede yung katulad ng last game na they committed what he called avoidable mistakes dahil lang they lacked focus. He knows that this time around in this game, they have to be wholeheartedly in this, na when things are going wrong, dapat 100% effort pa rin para makarecover. But when things are going right, maintain the effort. As I send it back to you guys.
There you go. Well said from Jorel Aristorenas, the veteran. As we do see Django Hector get inserted into the game, and he is a Loyola Academy product, a youngster for them, and it was Teddy Travis who was subbed out of this game. And Django Hector, and as we said, is an academy player. I have to double check his age, but it was his birthday when they won versus Garelli, and that was his first start and PFL debut. As there's Paulo Bugas looking on, and the Winter Soldier will kick off the second half. We'll need to see some magic from William Winter and company. Name all the players in Loyola if they'd like to lift themselves up. Well, for UCFC, we left it all out in the first half, right? To talk about how well they've been playing. Loyola again in white. United City in their black. Loyola playing from right to left. UCFC defending, playing from left to right.
That was encouraging to see, just that piece of play over there where, Loyola, 5 of them looking to attack the defense line of UCFC. But unfortunately, again, an unforced error on their side resulted to this throw-in for UCFC.
And we were talking about Django Hector earlier. And yes, he is 17 years of age. Very young. Coach Roxy did say that he is not afraid to play Django Hector even in big games.
And that's one great thing about, Coach Roxy Dorlas, where he believes in his academy players. He believes in the Loyola, team and community. And that's what you need from a coach that, di bale na kung matanda ba to o bata, ang importante ay nagpo-perform ba sila at ano ba yung attitude nila pagdating sa laro.
As we've said it also for some of the teams here or throughout the course of the season, that's how a football club works, right? Starting with the academy, integrating them here to the first team as Bandeken got this. Not a problem at all for the Cameroonian keeper. And Hector actually does have Filipino and Dutch citizenship. And he's also a great presence in the academy. As I see you with your reaction cam, you're not happy with that?
Yeah, I think, again, it is about making good actions and, at this level, unforced errors should be at a minimum. So just, but it is part of the game. I react right now, but I also make my own errors and that is part of it. It's about responding. What do you do ba pag nawala mo yung bola? Mag-give up ka lang or are you gonna work extra hard to get it back? And, mistakes are normal. Again, what's more important is your response after committing the mistake.
Right, in the same tune of what Aristorenas, right, did say to Naj. As there's this chance on the right, Charlie cuts it back. Winter Soldier takes it, but couldn't connect here. A chance to get in the scoreboard, but they couldn't convert.
That was a well-timed run by Charlie Beaton where he did get behind that through ball and set up his teammate Winter for that cutback pass. And unfortunate that it didn't end up in a goal, but these are really good signs and, response and focus and effort, like what Aristarena said earlier, for his team.
They would have liked to put that away, of course, but that's a positive here for the team looking to stage a comeback. Well, UCFC will look to at least manage the game, as you said, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, there is still around 45 minutes left in this half, and what matters, it seems like it for Loyola FC, is that they just continue what their game plan is, that they don't give up, and they are a team that's been known to fight till the end.
As Klosa poked this one out, will he be able to sustain that for the entire second half? Because he'll have to match the effort of Ricky Sendra again, the Argentinian.
Yeah, Klosa has had his hands full with the likes of Sendra, Limbo, Bugas there on his side. And really interesting to see how he responds to this challenge these last 40 minutes.
But if it favors UCFC, when we take a look at the team sheet, halos puno yung bench ng United City FC, while Loyola only have 5 subs. You only have 5 subs, and how many subs are you allowed to, or how many players are you allowed to sub in? 5 also,
5,
right?
yeah.
It's the same number. So they used one already by inserting Django Hector. As they give it over to Caloocaran. He sees Saludo. And there's Menzi trying to close out the right for UCFC. It's on to Jorel. The pitch Picasso as Frente calls him. Frente again, the fan group of Loyola FC. Flick back to Hector. Mula kay Asare. Wade. Bugas and Kurt Dizon there. Caloocaran. Winter Soldier pointing, send it there. I think he got what he ordered. Saludo. But he's up against a guy like Menzi, a veteran. Saludo. Hit the deck, rolled over a number of times. We may see a card here. There you go.
Referee Meliton Pelayo giving Menzi a yellow card for that challenge against Loyola FC.
Here's a look at the replay. You be the judge.
Well, what I got from that moment is that, really encouraging to see Saludo take his defender on. And usually when you create that kind of risk and you take your defenders on, it really just goes positively for you. Either you slip one past him, you can get a foul, a set piece like this.
That's the first yellow card of the game, as we will be getting this free kick from JB Kalukaran range, I would like to call. So, let's see if UCFC will be able to contain this, or will Loyola convert. Headed. Definitely out and about.
I think Kalukaran's not happy with that delivery of the ball. It is a bit short. I think he was looking to go a little bit more to the middle of the goal, where he has more options.
So that yellow card earlier was the first of the game, first to UCFC. So Menzi will have to be careful, right? A second yellow, he's out of this game.
Yes, that's right. 2 yellow cards in the same game will merit a red card. And a red card for a player means that whoever has that red card has to step out. And he also will miss the next game.
There are times too where we'd see coaches sub off the player with a yellow card, right? Just to avoid that type of scenario. As it's played long by Asare. It's a foot race and Bandiken secured.
A little bit better now for Loyola FC, where we see them connecting passes more than they have in the first half. And, you know, they've been passing the ball and finding those openings on the wing. And Beaton there, always looking to go forward.
Menzi, back from Bugas. And we will be seeing Audi Menzi, the brother of Mike, play later for Kaya. It's Kaya and Stallion Laguna again. Big implications in our championship. It's a league format again, so the #1 ranked team at the end of the single round robin will be crowned as champions right here in the Philippines Football League. But UCFC no longer in no longer in the championship race. They were eliminated mathematically. As there's a chance on the left now. Still Troy Limbo, but it is no good. But they get themselves a corner kick. But again, UCFC can finish second. And if it's Kaya FC Iloilo who emerge as champions, UCFC will be able to get that second ticket to the AFC Champions League 2 competition. Because Kaya, again, do have a ticket already by virtue of winning the Copa Paulino Alcantara. As Kurt Dizon will give us another corner as expected. He's been the man for them in this game, playing his usual wing position again. Kalukaran got his head to it, but it looks like that ball went outside, right? After Dizon sent the corner. That's why it will go Javi Coscolwela's way.
Yeah. But the corner pieces of UCFC seem to always find the businessman at the end. Itong si Sendra, he seems to be their target player. So that just tells, or at least at this point, that should tell Loyola FC that they really need to man mark Sendra.
As it's over to Kalukaran, nobody to send it to though. As Clarino secured, Nur Hidayat going fancy, the Indonesian player. Aspiras. Over to Dizon. He just found that hole in the middle as Dizon got his pocket picked. And there is a foul going Loyola's way. And their supporters were a little furious at that one. They'll try to bring or support them in this game.
So we see it here now. I think Akot was trying to turn in that moment, pero ang physicality too much para kay Meliton Pelayo. Kaya set piece ulit para sa Loyola FC dito sa half ng UCFC.
Referee Militon Pelayo sorting this out. A veteran already of the game, as we know. But Loyola have had chances to creep up here bit by bit. They had the free kick earlier with the left, right, with JV Kalukaran. Now they have this one.
Yeah, they've been on the ball more. It's been 10 minutes in the half, and that halftime talk probably by Coach Roxy sounded like, continue, don't give up. Do the small things better, because if you do the small things better, it gives you, more opportunity, more chances on goal.
As it was no good here for Loyola. Could that just stun their momentum? Kasi okay na bit by bit, right? But they just squandered that chance.
That really depends on the character of this team. Because some teams they respond better pag nagkakamali sila, 'di ba? Pero may mga teams din na mas naengganyo pag nagkakamali or nagigive up. But it seems like Loyola FC just needs to be more patient because they've been playing well, I'd say, in the past 10 minutes. They just need to stay patient and till the end be composed. And let's see.
And if they do that, of course, they'll be able to potentially get back into this game. But in UCFC's perspective, they are pretty much cruising or managing the game, right? May cushion sila.
Yes.
Concede one goal, maybe they'll be a bit pissed na wala yung clean sheet or the clean sheet will be gone. But hey, they have that window, right? They have that insurance.
Yeah, at the moment, it seems like Loyola is the one in charge and UCFC is, like what you said, just cruising. They're at a good place, but definitely if they would want to finish till the end, finish strong, they need to get their footing back into this match.
As JV eventually got it back.
JV's been a force to be reckoned with here kay Loyola FC na parang siya yung nagli-lead ng attack na kahit na left back siya talagang nag-a-atake siya.
All right, as we have this chance here, and we do have a big surprise, ladies and gentlemen. We do have women's national team player Malia Cesar joining us in the panel right here. As we do have Paulo Bugas on the ball. Malia, welcome to the panel.
Thank you for having me.
How's it going? I think you're here on summer break, is that right?
Yes, in between my university, but it's good, going good.
It's going good as you're about to take our jobs right here. Anyway, of course, you've been able to catch some of the PFL action today, right? And you're back in the Philippines. How was it getting to take in, the professional game here in the Philippines?
It's really good to see the level of composure out there on the field, especially from UCFC. They've been doing really well, composed in the attacking third and obviously putting away a lot of chances. And now Loyola is also showing us their attacking side and what they can do.
Are there any striking points here, any tactics or any players who impressed you so far in this game?
Definitely Bugas from UCFC. There was one run he made because he's playing in as sort of the 10, the attacking midfielder. And he just spied that the Loyola defense was really high up and he made the run and it looked like he was going to be offsides, but his outside back timed it really well. And it was onside and it resulted in a chance. So he's been really involved in the attack, and that's where I play right now for my university team. So it's been good for me to watch also and learn from him.
Oh, you're about to be in the vlog of Paulo Bugas. Glad that you said that because he does have a following. We were talking about it earlier,
Yes,
right,
we
Cam?
did.
If you do have any questions, Cam, of course, from Malia, your teammate in the women's national team, just feel free to chime in.
Yeah, for me, Malia, what stands out for you when you watch, Filipino football players like Bugas, and we also have Caloocaran and Aristorenas, and yeah, what stands out?
I really like the drive that they all have, and it's something that we talk about a lot on the national team, para sa bayan, and it's something that it's even being relayed on this field here, playing for your club, not just your country, but playing for your club and putting everything you have. And like you've been talking about, Loyola is known for their drive throughout the whole game, never giving up. And Aristorenas, I think when we saw at halftime, he was giving his players like kind of keeping their heads up and giving them some words of encouragement.
Yeah, so having a certain level of pride with how you play, and playing with a Filipino heart, having that laban. And you're right, that is something we always reinforce and remind each other in the national team.
As we did see a change for Coach Ramon, Mark Hartman stepped in for Kurt Dizon. It is a veteran in and a veteran out. But You surprised me there, Malia. You said you're playing in the midfield now, not anymore your usual fullback, right? Usual because we normally see you play fullback with the women's national team, right?
Yes, I'm playing a little bit more midfield, attacking and defending. I like being involved a little more there in the attack.
Am I right? That's in Division 1 of the
Division
NCAA?
three.
Division 3, okay. But the level there is high,
Yes.
as we know, right? I've been reading up on the NCAA myself out of curiosity. But how do you compare it with you playing in the international level in another continent, Asia, and then you're playing in the USA, right? How was that whole experience? Different styles of play? How do you assess the level?
Yeah, definitely different styles of play. I think for us in my university team, we have a lot of good individual skill, and for us, we require more work to focus on playing together as a team and as a whole, not just the individuals. But I think internationally, we have a lot more success playing as a whole team and like building up from the back and not just like
Individuals.
Yeah, not just individuals.
There you go, as it's with Hartman. Trying to give us a ball as Bugas sends this one in. Hartman to Bugas, instant impact from Mark Hartman, the veteran. UCFC's fans loving it. May cutout pa sila dito. Mukha ng mga players.
Yeah, Paolo Bugas there, he has been working hard to be in positions where he's in front of the goal, and you know, he made no mistake here that he put away that Hartman cross, and that was a really good finish by veteran Paolo Bugas.
UCFC just flexing their depth here. Yan, yung Bugas 39 cutout. That's what stands out here. As Cam, can you take us through this?
Yeah, Hartman there being calm, composed, finding his teammate. You could see he looked up, and Bugas there with his hand up, wanting that ball, and he hit it first time past Coscolwela to make it 4-0 now for UCFC.
Sending it past Javi Coscolwela. I will say, good thing Ricky Sandra didn't score because I'm out of businessman references.
It's Bugas' turn now to shine.
There you go, right? What do you think about the finish here, the play?
The thing that I liked when I saw that, especially on the replay, was Hartman just expected Bugas to finish it. He didn't, there was no like, oh, is he going to get it? But it was just, he knew he was going to finish it, and he finished it well.
That's the familiarity, right, with one another, the chemistry. And we talk about because people, or these guys train day in, day out. As Winter Soldier couldn't connect with Charlie Beaton. It's Hartman now, fresh legs for UCFC. Driving their offense on the left. Limbo bouncing in front of the mouth of the goal. Ricky Sendra. I fell for that. I thought he was going to cross it. Bugas. Here we go, a long ball. Hartman. Hartman takes it and he makes it.
It's a 1-for-1 between Bugas and Hartman.
Repaying the favor. My turn, your turn. I think Bugas said, "Uy, baliktad naman. I'll repay the favor. I'll assist your goal now. 5-0. And it's handshakes and smiles everywhere. As we'll take a look at the replay, Malia, would you like to do the honors and dissect the play here? Let's give Cam a breather.
Just Bugas had his head up and saw that the Hartman wasn't actually offside like all the Loyola defenders thought he was. Because he came in from the backside, and yeah, just the patience and the composure to be able to pick out his teammate there again.
So well timed, it seems,
Yeah.
from Hartman. But as we carry on, there's already another chance that Javi Coscolwela got to desperately deny. That's Ariel Ingukam. He did score once already, and he is their leader. But it's it's less than 30 minutes in this game. I think this one's pretty much done and dusted. Just the final score that needs to be settled. As it was sent back by Clarino to Henry Bandican. Henry Bandican in search again of another clean sheet.
Yeah, I think Loyola FC, just looking at the intent of players like Beaton and Aristorenas right now, gusto nila makascore. Diba? And yun yung mga gusto mong makita pag naglalaro ka ng football, that even if you're losing 5-0, you won't stop because hindi pa tapos yung laban, you know? even if even if there's a slim chance of winning the game, what matters, like what Aristorena said, is that their effort is maintained no matter how the opponent performs against you.
It's showing that character also, right?
And
Yes,
you know, football is the sport where you say never say die.
Never
Yes.
say die. That's the Filipino spirit, the fighting spirit. And I forgot to ask, Malia, is this your first time back in the Philippines after winning AFF 2022, or did you visit also? Or
Yes, this is
it
the
is
first time.
Okay. I don't have to ask this to Cam because in Rizal playground natin, di ba? We're here like 1 to 2 times a week.
Yeah.
What's it like? This is the very stadium, right, where you guys got to win in the regional level, the AFF Women's Championship. You're
Yeah.
back here again.
I was here a couple weeks ago with my family also, and that was really special for me to be able to share that with them. My dad used to run track here for the Philippines, and you know, it just reminded me of kind of everything that representing the country means to me. Just that the people that we represent and the heart that we showed during that campaign.
Just to add also how old this venue is, my lolo also ran track here in Rizal Memorial.
Yeah, it's one of the buildings actually that survived the Second World War.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So really a lot of history here from, you know, our Ascals, the Philippine men's national team, our historic gold medal, and then now we have the PFL, first of its kind right now with 15 teams, right?
That's right. This is a big one as it's with Bugas again. No, it's Limbo finding the back of the net, finding or getting to join the scoring party. Welcome to the Goal Scorers Club this afternoon, Troy Limbo. And a man from Cagayan de Oro getting another one in, and UCFC solidifying their push here to finish the season strong.
Yeah, Limbo making no mistake there that initially I feel like one of the defenders of Loyola FC stopped after a mistake was made, but you know, unfortunate that that error was picked off, and you know, Loyola got punished, and Limbo there making no mistake to finish from that error.
As we do see changes, Troy Limbo, I think he wanted to score because he saw that Darlton Diga was going to replace him.
Yeah, making no mistake, making an impact. Ito yung ma-expect mo kay Troy Limbo.
So we did see Darlton Diga check in for Troy Limbo. We'll also try to run through the other subs here in this game.
Yeah, I believe 2 substitutes came on for Loyola FC and 2 more for United FC.
We did see Pete Forosuelo check into the game.
I also saw Ian Chua for Loyola FC.
And there you go. Subs being inserted into the game already. It was Haji Noor Hidayat who stepped off for Pete Forosuelo. As it's over now to Akot. Akot sending it back.
Kante also now having an opportunity for Loyola to play.
Yes, Kante did come off the bench. But Kante did start a great number of games at wing here for Coach Roxy. But I will say that is a big message from Coach Ramon, subbing off Haji Noor Hidayat. Madalas si Noor Hidayat is their main center back along with Mingy Clarino. As Winter got it over here now. But this one, not on the same page from Ian Chua. They'll unfortunately give that one up. So Bandican will resume this one. So Cam, of course, we're familiar with what you've been doing, right? Still playing here locally. Interview natin si Malia, no? Just to share her experiences here.
Yeah, she's actually already had one of a training session under Coach Let Dimzon with Kaya.
Very interesting, eh? I don't want to start transfer rumors, okay? Let's let the people do it. May mga kaibigan tayo. We do it on social media, but we love that from the community also, creating that talk. But how was that NCAA season for you? Is that your freshman year? Is that right?
Just my freshman year. It was good. My team, my Trinity University, we made it to the playoffs, to the first round. and I played against Kia and Alamo's team. So her team won, unfortunately for us, but it's motivated us even more for this upcoming season.
There's always that hype, right, when we see the national team players playing
Yes.
against each other. But when you refer to the playoffs, is that pretty much like that March Madness part?
Yes, exactly. March Madness, but November Madness.
Okay, that's how it works for soccer there
Yes.
in the States. As teams just went through this opportunity to rehydrate. There's Bugas again. The UCFC, their squad has been on fire as of late, and they'll try to at least keep that clean sheet. But when you did get to play against Alamo, right? May mga jersey swap ba? Anything like that? I know a limited number of jerseys are made, right, when it's at the school level.
No, that's not allowed because we only have the one.
Only one.
Picture na lang. Picture na
Picture,
lang.
yes.
Picture. Yep. And then they'll share it to the group, of course. And everyone's just gonna go crazy as they do. As Kante try to just bring that up on his own.
Yeah, Kante looking to take his defender on there, but unfortunate for him that the defense line was pretty organized. Kaya wala, no go for that moment.
As we do see Sidebe also line up at the half line, and he will come on for William Winter. I don't say Coach Roxy is throwing in the white flag here because Sidebe
Yes.
did get to create also in close situations for Loyola, but the body language there says it all. William Winter may be a reserved person, but you could see, of course, the frustration. It's cruise control now. Also, right, I know she's just joining to support her brother, Finn, but Chandler is expected to be at the Rizal grandstand also, as Ingogam takes it 1-on-4. But Coscolwella got his bottom corner sorted out.
Yeah, that's not easy to hold on to that ball at such a tight space with 4 players on you. Etong si Ngukam, he did well there to create an opportunity for himself. So we see it here again. Basically 5 nga eh. 5 white shirts versus Ngukam and Coscolwella there. Just reminding his team, demanding that no shots need to be done. Kasi yun na nga, 4 sila dun.
Oh, he was furious. And here's the corner kick. And from that, takot na ako kay Javi Coscolwella. But he's a very approachable guy.
And then, dala yun ang game, di ba?
Yep.
Lalo na pag goalkeeper ka, kailangan may demand ka. And like what you said earlier, isa nga lang din siya na goalkeeper. So
That's right.
all the more his teammates need to protect him.
Does Ate Olivia get mad like that?
Yeah, I would say it. Liv can get into a different mode. Talagang beast mode.
Also right. But this one was gifted back. Sidebe over to Akot. Will they get a consolation goal? Jorel, Sidebe, and denied by Forosuelo. And it's traffic here. Asare, it came off. Forosuelo and Bandeken secures. Bandeken again, the backup of UCFC, but he could start in any other PFL team. Their squad is loaded.
Yeah, I think unfortunate there for Loyola FC because they were basically gifted an opportunity pero ginawa lang nilang central. Ang laki ng space dun sa sides ng defense ng UCFC pero for some reason they were kind of stuck off trying to, they seemed a bit tentative there. Yeah, let's see. Meron pang 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes for Loyola to respond.
Right, they'll try to spoil the clean sheet. It's on now with Hector. Hector, again, a young player. It's over to Wade. Kante. And let's not forget, we have 2 goals also. 2 more games after this one.
Yeah, it's a lot of action here on Sunday. You did say Sunday showdown.
Yep.
We are in the tail end of the league, kaya every game counts even more. If at the start it counted, lalo na ngayon, especially for the next matchup, which is Kaya FC versus Stallion Laguna.
So give it over to Foresuelo now. And with your visit, Malia, I think you were here also coaching a youth team, right? Just to take
Yes.
some time also, right?
Also with Coach Let's Bella FC, Bella Academy. So it's been great to watch the younger girls develop that passion and learn new techniques under Coach Let and Coach Hazel, other national team players, Coach Dai,
Yeah.
along with Coach Cam.
Yes. I think it's really great to like have a face to, diba, kung sino ba yung susunod, who the next generation is. And we see here now Loyola FC with an opportunity to counter.
And there was that shot
And they
from the
play
looks of
on.
it. Yeah. And a shot was taken, but missed the far post.
So Sidabe was unhappy with his teammates there.
But Kante was hustling hard. And Loyola again desperate just to bag one. But Pete Foresuelo, fresh legs, and he's been hustling. Then Menzi tried to sell that.
Yeah, Melaton Pelayo said play on, which, gifted Kante an opportunity. I think he was looking at the top right corner of the goal, but arguably I feel like he could have brought that ball a little bit closer to sort of either commit Bandiken and maybe take a shot or pass it to, two other teammates who were there in front of the goal with him.
It was good recovery by Foresuelo to get back and stop that shot.
Yeah.
So Wade will try to get the stop. Kalukaran. And Sandra's still there. You see the intensity? Like this result where his game is not yet done.
Yeah, Kante really just inserted that, level of intensity. Parang mas naging, mas tumaas yung tempo ng game nung pagpasok niya.
And Loyola will try to settle it down now. And I want to ask the two of you, of course, with your respective roles with the national team, you're like that example set right to the youth, young boys and young girls. What's it like being that role model for the two of you? We can start with Malia, especially you coming back, right? Coaching, we see people asking for your autograph, right? How's that been, promoting the game?
Definitely coming back here, it's always surprising because in the U.S. it's not like that at all. But it's a really good feeling to know that there are new girls, more boys playing because of what we did at the World Cup. And I know, especially, I think Cam can relate.
Oh, a quick timeout right there. Nagkasagutan sila Sidibe and Bandiken.
The heated encounter there by Sidibe, arguing na tinamaan daw siya ni Bandiken.
Sidibe also swung his arm over at Miggy Clarino. But first, we'll put the two UCFC subs on hold. And the guys who just raised the intensity of the game are the subs, of course, as expected, trying to take advantage of the playing time. Yun nga, parang extra action, di ba?
May onting gulang doon.
And I will say, Henry Bandiken is a very relaxed guy. So if he gets pissed like that, I mean, something's up. But first, let's go through our subs. We do have Owano coming in along with Jamar Andrade. Stepping off will be Ricky Sendra. He will close the business day. And Ariel Ngukam too. Looks like they will put out the big guns, given that there's only 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, two forwards there for UCFC, meaning hindi pa satisfied, or sorry, let me take that back. But Coach Ramon still wants UCFC to score and to have, inject that attacking force for his team.
Right. And there you go. These guys had to put in a great shift. And Owano and Andrade will see this through. And we'll try to finish the game strong for UCFC. But while our kwentuhan was interrupted, right, by the scuffle right here. Yeah, you were saying, right, that you've been enjoying the time seeing young boys and girls embrace the game. Is there anything else that you got to see?
Yeah, it's nice to know that the younger generation has somebody to look up to. Because when I was younger, if I wanted to play football, it was going to be for the U.S. And I knew if I wanted to represent the Philippines, it was going to be in basketball or track and field like my dad. But soccer was my first love, my passion for the sport. And now other young girls especially know that they have that pathway for them as well.
Talking about basketball, I gotta say it. Mia Montaire circulated a picture of you playing basketball. I think
Oh
in
my
high
gosh,
school,
yes.
right?
Of course, I'm Filipino. Of course, I play basketball.
Along with singing and dancing. It's in their blood. Come on.
I've seen a reel of overseas Filipinos say that. We're Filipinos, of course we play. But there's also football, of course, right? Filipinos do love their sports,
Yes,
as we know.
yes.
Well, let's switch over to Cam. Yung mga tao nagpapa-autograph din sa'yo, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but let's talk about it now with this team. How's it for you? You've been that ambassadress in the game also, being a commentator also, educating people who are new to the game, being a coach at the youth level, you name it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, my goal really is to represent like what it means to try as a person, but also for younger boys and girls to know na they can be a player if they want to, they can commentate if they want to, kung gusto nila mag-coach, mag-sports psych, like it's possible. And, you know, I'm just blessed to be given the platform and the opportunity to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, it is for the Philippines to grow the love for the sport, but also for the community. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about the Philippines, na very passionate yung ating community. But I do encourage everyone to share, to grow the love rather than to put people down. Diba? And it's always about, dapat at the end of the day, laging dapat para sa bayan, para sa community, para sa isa't isa. And yeah,
That's
thank
right.
you for your question.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all teammates here, trying to grow the sport, trying to grow Philippine football. And as I say that, we see teams going at it, but they have that same goal, right, of growing the local football scene right here in the Philippines. As Wade sent this in, but they couldn't connect. There was Sidibe getting close. Well, Wade, their center back, trying to join in already as they're trying to get that consolation.
Yeah, Sida, but there was good to have that cross from far out, no, na dapat sana pag mas in-anticipate ng teammates niya yung cross na yon, could have been a goal because it was a ball behind the defense line and the goalkeeper, Bandiken.
As it was secured by Hector, a very young player again. Malia, I think you made your debut for the national team at a very young age also. Similar scenarios, Django, Hector, young player, and you're already playing with full-grown adults. How was that like?
Well, my very first camp when I came in, I was 17, and we were all living together, and the girls on the team instantly became like my ates, and it was honestly because of them I was able to feel comfortable, be able to express myself, ask questions, ask for help, and that was probably the most important thing for me to be able to continue for the next couple years.
There's a
1v1.
chance. Yeah, because Coelho saved that one.
So yeah, for me to be able to continue for the couple years leading up to the World Cup was because of the family sense that the team had. Yeah.
Were you the youngest there in the team or the squad?
For a few
Months-wise,
months,
yeah.
yes, I was. And then when we had younger girls like Kaya Hota, Bella Pasion come in as well, and they were a couple years younger than me.
So there was that stage. Everyone was your ate, right?
Yes.
Ate Cam, everyone,
At the
Ina.
Haley, at the Ina.
There you go.
Yes.
All of the above. All of the above. Akot going fancy. No points there, unfortunately.
Yeah, Akot really is one of those players, product also of De La Salle University, so has grown in this homegrown stage. But unfortunate there that, again, unforced error, miscommunication between Asare and his teammates.
As we do have a change with less than 5 minutes remaining, it is Joem Logarta who will enter. And Charlie Beaton will step off It is great to see that Joem Logarta is back because we saw him get wheeled off in a wheelchair a few weeks back. So that's a great sign at the least. But Charlie Beaton is definitely deflated. You see he's a little bit hurt. But we saw him give his all, as we know. As they're trying to secure this, Ian Chua sent it out, safety first instead.
Yeah, he did have a UCFC striker on his back, and at the same time, two more UCFCs trying to press that back line. So he was forced to just kick that ball out.
Yeah, there was Darlton Diga. I actually call him coach because you were saying Ashley Flores, you'd call him coach, right?
Yeah,
He plays
yeah.
for Manila Digger. I call Darlton Diga coach because he's the coach of Adamson in the UAAP.
And you covered the UAAP yourself, right?
Also,
Claro?
yeah. Darlton Diga was the best player of Adamson 2 calendar years back. He was so good, he opted not to continue his career in college. He turned pro, hindi naman na Adamson, coach ka na lang. That's how good he was, right?
Parang yun yung value niya.
Exactly, right. But Mali, I believe this will not be your last time joining us in the panel or in the broadcast. There might be something in store, right? But how's the whole experience been for you?
I love it. I love being on this end also. As a player, being able to watch games is always fun. And I love the tactical aspect of the games. That's my favorite part. So I really love this part.
Yeah, I can attest to that as her teammate. Malia is really one of those teammates na thinking player siya. So, like, she's the one that shines in her film sessions. But it just goes to show, like, the importance of knowing the game. But also, now, she gets to practice, like, how do you communicate that?
So just curious, when you're having film sessions, but they almost connect, can't they? But it is secured by...
Again.
I spoke too soon, but here's Sidibe. Hey, that counts as a shot on target, but not enough to trouble Bandiken. I wanted to ask about the film sessions. So it's pretty much like class. So
Yep.
you said that Malia is very active. So is she that person in class always raising her hand in recitation? We have that people in class, right, when we study.
I think she's the one who always has the right answer. It's a little bit of a teacher's pet. No, I'm just kidding. No, she's very smart. One of those top students. Huh?
I mean, when I was studying, of course, when I was in high school, we wouldn't know the answer. This guy, we'd always point at him. So I assume that would be Malia when it's film sessions.
Yes.
Coach siya na lang. She knows the answer.
Or she'll like try to like help you out. I remember some moments you would do that via
You call the quiet person and she's whispering the answer here. That's great. That's great. That's behind the scenes, right? We don't get to see that, right? Because it's often this.
This is what you see. Huh?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Action in the field. Pero tibay ni Mike Menzi right there. Andrade 2-on-1. Akot provided support. And referee Meliton Pelayo.
Yeah, Andrade wanting to take on 3-4 players, but probably the best thing to do at that moment, just recycle the ball. Kasi yung Loyola nung time na yun, nakaset sila eh. Diba? So, ulit lang. It's okay to try again, to recycle the ball, and hopefully attack.
As Bugas connects with Uwano. Hartman. I gotta point it out already. Sidibe is now included in my top 10 for most fancy hairstyles. I'll also include Ivan Wanu with his man bun, but the guy who tops the list is Demirolu, the Turkish player, right? He
Oh.
rocks an afro, full-blown afro.
I would say the player from Wantagig,
Groggy.
Graga.
Oh, Groggy. Kada game, bagong kulay yung buhok, di ba?
New hair color
New
per
hair
game.
color every time. And Groggy had a good afternoon yesterday when they picked up a massive win.
Look good, feel good, play good.
There
Exactly.
you go. Yep. As we have 4 minutes of additional time, as Jesus Abogado, our fourth official, confirmed. Can I add to that statement? Look good?
Then you feel good, and then you play good.
There you go. Do you know that there's the saying also, right? If you can't perform, japorm. But because we were talking about hairstyles, there's a guy like Groggy, very creative player, sabi ko, they can perform and japorm.
Yeah. The form is like perform, but like fancy.
Yeah,
Ganon.
looking fancy, looking good.
Yeah, so his creativity extends beyond the pitch.
Yep.
Para dito kay Grog.
As Bugas, it's Hartman now with the armband.
Oh, that's a great run by number 7. His name is Digha from UCFC.
Yep, that's Coach Darlton. It's over to Akot. Unselfish there, but it is over the crossbar. You gotta feel there for Akot. Close to playing the full 90, or it's already the full 90.
Mauro Akot making the most of the opportunity given to him first, being unselfish, seeing those two teammates running to the goal, but unfortunately it was blocked off by the defense line, and then he had another shot by himself.
Yes, as we have about 2 minutes remaining in additional time. Again, the goal scorers for UCFC are Ngukam, Sendra with a brace. Bugas, Hartman, and Troy Limbo picked up 1 each. As UCFC are trying to knock number 7. But Coscolwella gets the stop. But there's the rebound, the double save here. But it looks like the flag is up. But hey, Coscolwella still had to work, but Ivan Owano did want to get on the score sheet. Here's the replay. Malia, would you like to do the honors?
It was very good from Coscolwella to be able to have those reflexes. But all the Loyola players were in the middle, and it allowed, who was it?
It was Owano.
Owano.
Yep.
To be free for the rebound.
No one there to clean up the garbage. But I think you've done a great job, so you could join us in the end game statistics and
Yeah.
analysis. But something with our Quintuan, of course, as it'll be business in the end. How was this whole experience joining us commentating? Is it your first time?
Yes, first time. It's been good, very welcoming. And it's been a good learning experience to also hear and see what is being said while we're on the pitch.
As it's with Bugas, did you get any tips from any ates before getting into this? Atecam or anyone? Or did you just go, oh, I'm going to go for it. I think I can.
No, Atecam definitely gave me some pointers. And, you know, that was why I knew that I had in my head that Bugas was the player that stood out for me, because Atecam told me to have someone in mind.
There you go. Well drilled, well rehearsed, just like a set piece in the game. How was that transition for you, Cam, right? You're still an active player, but you'd also commentate.
I think it helps me when I commentate because I get to read the game. So I'm also a visual learner. So sometimes I learn from the players that I commentate from. There's this one time, and there we go, 90 minutes. So really, really grateful always to have this opportunity to read the game, but also grow the game in all my hats. And this is one of my favorite ones. And I get to do that alongside you. So thank you, Clara. Thank you, Malia.
Of course, with Malia also. And it's great commentating with women's national team players. Veterans, of course, who could share their knowledge with the game. But we see the full-time score. It's 6-0. 3 goals in the first half for UCFC. And another 3 in the second half. Ngukam gave us the opener again. Ricky Sendra gave us a brace, but there was no looking back after halftime because Paulo Bugas, Mark Hartman, and Troy Limbo all got into the score sheet as we see Diego Spiras just... That speaks. And his body language says it all. As the businessman appears to be the man of the match, but we'll eventually have him for our interview. If he is indeed the man of the match, we often see them get their picture taken early by our hardworking photographers down on the ground, but what a game right here. Would you guys like to give your assessment?
I think really good from UCFC to flex their attacking prowess, but also to show their composure in front of the goal, that they were able to play with intent. I think that is the word that stands out for me when I look at UCFC, that they came here with a purpose and they came here to win, and we saw that happen in the first half with 3 goals, but also another 3 goals in the second half, where you could see all of those 3 goals in the second half were scored within 7 minutes. So that tells the story that they're able to capitalize with the opportunity that's presented to them. And then for Loyola FC, that they did have certain moments of brilliance, but a lot to work on if they want to continue being competitive. Yes, they have secured the safety spot for next season's first division for PFL.
Yes.
And a lot to take away from this Loyola side. Spirited, with experience, but also with potential.
That's right, as they're just sorting things out in the ground, so they will interview our moment man of the match and see Ricky Sendra. But before we bring it over, Malia, is there any bright spot for Loyola? It wasn't their day. We've definitely seen better performances from them, but what's there to take away for the squad of Coach Roxy?
The first 15 minutes after the halftime break was really good, really energized, and that's really hard sometimes going into half being already down by 3. But it was really good to see them come out strong and give opportunities.
As we see the UCFC fans, all smiles for them, but we do have another game. There's Finn McDaniel, one of the leading goal scorers in the Philippines Football League. When we see Klose and company just ending this one. Later on, we do have Stallion Laguna FC and Kaya FC Iloilo. That will be a titanic matchup because there are huge implications there in the Philippines Football League title. It is a must-win for Stallion to keep their title hopes alive. And it's a must-win for Kaya because they want to stay in the top seed. As we take a look at our scorers once more. And let's see, of course, as they sort things out with Ricky Sendra. You guys have any expectations heading into the next game?
For the next game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Intensity.
intensity is going to be up. I feel like there might be a lot of cards
Oh.
if that's not going to be managed. But also, I feel like there are going to be good goals for this next game.
That's right. Those are two teams who recently represented the Philippines at the AFC level, as we will take a pitch side to Naj Miravalis with our moment man of the match.
Thank you, Cam and Claro. I'm here with the man of the match, Ricardo Sendra, with 2 goals, 88% pass completion rate, 45 out of 51 passes, 1 assist, and 100% dribbles completion. Ricky, your thoughts on how your strong performance played a huge part in this win?
Well, thank you so much. Well, I'm just trying to do my thing and help the team to win games. Today, well, we started the first 20 minutes very good. I could score earlier. I could assist to Ariel, and then we drop a little bit our intensity. But in the second half, we struggling a little bit until we could score with a counter-attack, and the game was done gone after that.
But you guys were able to come out with a win. How would you describe the focus and the energy that you guys came out with in the second half to be able to get this win?
Well, we just tried. We push all the time and try to score as much as we can, because we need to score goals. We need to get, of course, the 3 points. We still have 2 more left, and we need to finish strong.
Thank you very much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Sendra as your man of the match. Back to you, Cam and Claro.
Thank you very much, Ricky Sendra and Naj Miravalis. Baka may promo dyan, galing sa businessman, no? Because he got another man of the match, but that does it for our coverage here. Match number 1 done and dusted on this PFL Super Sunday. But a big thank you on behalf of the hardworking staff, crew, cameramen, producers, and floor directors. In behalf of Direk Koy Yopanco, this was Claro Manzano bringing the commentary for this match alongside Cam Rodriguez, Malia Cesar, pitchside reporter Naj Miravalis, and it ends United City FC 6, Loyola FC 0. But we will catch you in the next game.
get out the